Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about the alpha complex in young dogs and how that reflects on how they behave. It's a complete behavioral issue they have. They have to know if they're the alpha dog or if they're not the alpha dog. And so I'll use some techniques today to show you guys how these dogs should operate. Manny here is about a 1.5 old female, and she's still struggling at that teenage state of her life with, is she the alpha dog, or is she the boss dog, or is she supposed to obey? So we'll do some drill work with her, and then we'll do some alpha testing. First we'll start with walking, sitting, come, stay, that type of thing. We'll use our crop here to help her speed up her responses. So let's do a little walking. Heel. Sit. I use a stick to speed up the dog's process. If you don't use a crop or a fly swatter of some type, a lot of times you'll get a lazy sit. So I try to make the dog know when I give a command they have to do it very rapidly, not when they feel like it, because that creates a lot of thinking on the dog's part and trying to get out of work. I try to make them do it as fast as possible. Here we go again. Notice she's not pulling on the leash. I've just got one finger. That's all I should have to have. Once I tell a dog a command, they should understand that I am the alpha and that they are not the boss. One thing that they'll always do in the wild, one wolf will test to see if the other wolf is sick or if one is getting old, ready to die. And I don't feel like I'm going to die, so I think I'll be the boss of the dog today. And that's why the dogs always test you. They always want to find out what position, what role they play in the pack. So here we go. Heel. Again, I'm going to use the stick as part of a hand signal deal. When I come around this way, same thing. I use the stick backwards. Sit. I get on their butt a little bit to make them speed up the response. Again, we're going to go to the left. I'll use the stick and my body as a hand signals. Again, she's not pulling the leash at all. Whenever I walk her, she listens real good. Sit. Very fast response. I don't want to hit the dog in the head. I always want to come from underneath. Not hard, but just enough. If you can see that she's not really liking the stick, but she understands that I'm in control. So now we'll go over here and we'll make her sit. Sit. Stay. Stay. I use my hand as a stop sign. This is a very good signal as a stop sign. I always use my hand as a stop sign. Stay. Stay. When I bring her in straight as an arrow. I don't want her to decide left or right. I want to bring her straight in. Man, come. Good dog. Good dog. Good dog. Sit. Again, I want her touching my leg. I want her, when she comes in, I want her to touch. I want her happy. I want her calm. And I want her to all the way touch so that I can also do, if she has a porcupine quill in her nose, or if she has a cut, I can medicate her, vet her, I can be her pal, I can be her buddy. And if she's way off to my side, it makes it much more difficult for me to vet her. So I always want to check my dog. One of the reasons I call them is to check their ears, check their nose, check their eyelids, and all these things for safety. So at that point, I want to make awful sure that she comes straight in and comes very close next to me so I can check for any medical needs she might have. We're going to do it again. Repetition, repetition, repetition. It gets kind of dull after a while, but you got to do it thousands of times. Again, I'm using the stick for signal. Sit. She's doing a good job. Something else I like to do, I like to have my collar underneath if at all possible. Stay. I use my verbal and I also use my physical controls. I want her to understand that I'm using the stop sign, that, and then I'm also using my verbal commands. Sit. Sit. If she makes a hitch once in a while, that's okay.